Untitled Video Strategist Club, what is going on? I hope that everybody is having a great start to the week. We're about halfway through the month and things are happening. Our man Dom Mann is crushing it. He's out there doing discovery meetings, and he recently recorded a discovery meeting that he did, and he posted up in the Facebook group and asked for some feedback. How can I make these discovery meetings better? How can I get better in these situations? What can I do to close this deal? I just told Dom that I really appreciate his transparency and his willingness to put himself out there to the group and say, hey, how can I be better? How can I make this situation better? So Dom, thank you so much, dude, for posting that and being willing to, and we're ready to try to help you out here, man. You ready for this thing?
Sounds great.
Okay, cool. Dom, do me a favor. Give me a little bit of a breakdown, a background of where this lead came from. It sounds awesome. I was listening to the discovery meeting kind of while I was doing the dishes. So I was like half paying attention, half wasn't. But the parts that I was paying attention to sounded really, really cool. So tell me how you came into this situation.
For sure. So actually, I was talking with Mark a little bit and showing him that I wasn't getting any leads on my ads and retargeting. And the day after I shut down my ads, he reached out through Facebook saying that the ads worked great. And that's how I got it. So it's kind of funny that it came from an ad after I shut it down. Oh, you're muted.
My bad. So you were running ads for yourself, and this person reached out to you and asked to have a conversation. Am I understanding that correctly?
Correct.
Okay, cool. Somebody just posted in Facebook the other day in the Facebook group asking what they could do to make their landing page better. They're running some ads for their video production company. I forget who it was. They just started. They were getting some clicks in there. Maybe you'd be willing to pass it forward and look through that post and see if you can provide some insight, because that would probably help that person out a lot since you're starting to get some traction on yours. Okay.
For sure.
Okay, so we've got a lead that's coming to you through the use of video strategy. You're putting your strategy out into the world, and somebody hit you up and said, I want to talk to you. And you said, okay, let's get on the phone and do a discovery meeting. Tell me a little bit about how your process works to get you to this point. Like, what does your funnel look like? Do you have a landing page? Do you have a form to fill out? What got them to the point where they were on the phone with you?
So this one specifically, since the ad was on Facebook, he just directly messaged the Facebook page. I do have a form on the website, but he didn't go through that one. He just went straight to the PM.
Okay, cool. Pretty straightforward then. Awesome. What we're going to do, guys, is we are going to play a recording. Dom asked this person if it was okay for them to record this meeting, and then Dom recorded it. We're going to listen to it. Dom was really looking for some critiques on how he could make the discovery meeting better, what he could do to improve in the future to just, be more comfortable in these situations. But after I watched it, I figured we could give him some critiques and help him for his sales meeting, which is upcoming on Thursday. Am I correct with that, Dom?
Correct.
Okay, cool. Now, if you guys are watching on the Facebook Live, I am monitoring the comments on my iPad. So if you have a comment or have a question, put it up in the Facebook group and I will see that, but I'm only monitoring the paid group. I'm not monitoring the free group. So if you're in the free group, hop in the Zoom call and then you can ask a question. Otherwise, I'm only monitoring the paid group. Okay, let me go ahead and share my screen here and we're going to watch this discovery interview if I can find it. There it is. All right. Unmute and let me know if you guys are not getting audio. We just tested this, so it should be getting an audio, but here's the beginning of this interview.
No, that's completely fine. Okay, awesome. So tell me a little bit about what you got going on, how it started, that type of thing.
Yeah, so I've been in business now for about 2 years, a little over 2 years. I started my I did my freshman year of college, and I was just so fired up.
And actually, guys, if you have pen and a paper, take notes. That way, if you hear something that you want to, pass on to Dom or have question, you'll remember what it is.
Working a car dealerships, and they were paying me like 13 an hour, like manage the detail center, and they're charging like $450 per vehicle. So I was like, you know what, I can do this on my own. So I packed up my beater car at the time, threw everything in it, like pressure washer in the front seat, just completely loaded. And I went to people's houses. I started using their water and electricity. Things progress and progress and progress. Now we have 2 mobile units, a beautiful shop, 4 employees, and we're cranking work out.
That's
So
awesome.
that's pretty much the short story. So
So you said a little bit in the Facebook about premium for like you would want to use video for premium customers or cars or something. Tell me a little bit about that.
okay, so basically, there's 2 major sides to my business. I have obviously the mobile detailing side, which is in the name, and they go to people's houses and they complete these details on site. That business is really moving. I mean, we're always consistently, at least 2 weeks out at a time. I have no concerns about that. It continues to grow and move. The other side of things is ceramic coating. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. It's like a wax on steroids you put on your car and it lasts years.
Okay.
This side of things, that's pretty much my role now. I pretty much do all that and then kind of fill in wherever it's necessary. If I'm needed with the mobile crew, I'll help them out, or however that moves. Now, this is something that when you expand into something like this, it's almost like starting a business over again. And I've been really fortunate. I mean, we have been crushing it. Okay, with these ceramic coatings, they're our highest ticket job. They usually start minimum $1,000 and go up to $2,000, $3,000, $1,000. So it's one of those things where it takes more to sell it because of its price.
Right.
Again, I'm in a fortunate spot where it really has taken off. Like we're doing good, but I'm not quite how many I want to be doing. And I think the best way to showcase these types of things are through video, and everything about these coatings are high end. I mean, everything's got to match. I mean, on my website, we did a pretty good job of making my website high end, and I'm trying to think of the right word here. Obviously professional and premiere. That's kind of what I'm looking for. We just really want to have that. I think I don't have any video on my website. I think it would be a good idea, maybe even for the mobile side of things too, just to have some videos kind of showcasing what we do, get people excited about it. A little bit of behind the scenes of like what actually goes on in the shop. You got to remember, these people don't really see any of this process or what's happening. I have to just explain it to them and just kind of capture all that in a way that's something I can put on my video or on my website or send to my customers that kind of highlight the service, what it's about, kind of pick up where I'm going with this.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Like a promotional thing. Like I could send it out to customers that are thinking about it, or I could run sponsored ads on Facebook and Google with these videos of, me like walking around, say a $500,000 car and showing them, kind of what we do or, what it means, and just showcase all that is kind of what I'm looking for. I think it would be really good with something that's higher ticket like that to catch people's attention, especially with the work you do. The video would be, so high quality, so high end that people are like, damn, this has got it, perception's reality, that. So seriously, and when something like that, they see something like that, they're like, okay, one, it builds trust, it builds credibility. Like if this video is this good, this service is probably as good too. Again, perception is reality. Just like my shop, you walk in, it's clean, everything's where it needs to be. We have a nice waiting room. Same idea, it's not like stuff's just clustered everywhere.
Right.
And that same concept that carries through. That's why I have my vehicles look the way they do. They're newer vehicles. They're not rusted out. My website matches the way my van's wrapped. Everything works together as a brand.
Gotcha.
So adding that video could be a really crucial part.
Totally. All right. So try this question on for size. It's 3 years from today, and you and I are having a coffee. We're meeting up after everything goes smoothly. You're really happy with the progress you've made over these past 3 years. What's happened to make you that happy?
Okay, it's a great question. So, my end goal with this business is to franchise it, franchise the licensing, the marketing, all of that, the brand itself. And to get there, I have to continually expand, obviously, to, like McDonald's, you can't just know exactly where the fryer goes. You have to do it so many times and so many times until you can really start to expand and pitch it to investors and franchise it and all this. I mean, 3 years from now, I'm looking to really be rocking and rolling where, I have a fleet of mobile units. Right now I have 2. I mean, 3 years from now, I'm hoping to have, anywhere from 5 to 10 rolling around the streets. And then, obviously on the other side of things, like the ceramic coating, the paint protection film, a lot of different avenues I want to get into where, we have a bigger shop with, ceramic coatings rolling in and out of the door, paint protection film, tint. I mean, that's where I want to be in 3 years. It's just, having this thing rocking and rolling, everything expanding more so and more so and more so. I mean, I'm looking to go big here.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's awesome.
So that's where, that coffee conversation would be pretty good in 3 years if I'm doing all that.
Perfect. So if we were to kind of put those into monetary like values, like what are we looking like in growth, in revenue, growth in profit, that type of thing?
For 3 years from now?
Yes.
Let me think. Let me do some reverse engineering here. At that kind of level, 3 years from now, I mean, I'm hoping to be doing in revenue anywhere from, 1 to 3 million. And then our profit, that would obviously change our profit margins from now. I mean, something like that, anywhere from profit from, anywhere from 500,000 to 700,000.
Gotcha. All right. And if we were to look right now, where are you at in regards to those numbers?
Right now, we're on projection to do like 250 grand revenue this year and about $1.60, $1.70 profit. Obviously, depending on how the rest of the year goes, but those are all projections.
Okay. So we're looking to, over the next 3 years, increase that from the revenue from 250,000 to $1 million to 3 million range, along with the profit up to from 160 to 500 or 700,000. And then you also want to be rolling out big fleets. Basically, you want to be taking over this area of the industry. Is that correct? Okay. And did I miss anything?
I'm sorry, you cut out for a second. What was that?
Is that correct? Or did I miss anything? Should we add anything to that?
No, that's all pretty much ballpark. Like I said, those numbers aren't exact, but kind of a ballpark idea.
Right. Gotcha. Awesome. So do you have a time frame for this in mind?
For what aspect?
For when you want to roll out these videos?
Not necessarily at the moment. Right now, I'm kind of just, kicking around the idea and kind of seeing what you can do for my business and kind of what your thoughts are.
Gotcha. And did you have any idea of what you're looking to spend on it, or like budget wise?
Not quite. I mean, I'm not really sure what something like this runs. So I don't really have necessarily a budget, or if I'm honest, I don't really know what to expect.
Gotcha. All right.
For me, the biggest thing with anything business related is ROI. So I don't necessarily care to spend more if my ROI is going to be higher, just like anything else. So the budgeting number doesn't necessarily matter for me. It's all end game.
Right. So if we could guarantee, like say hypothetically, we could guarantee the 3 million in revenue, you'd be willing to pay, like, I don't know, $1 million or whatever, to, if it was guaranteed.
I mean, guaranteed. Yeah, I mean, we're looking for guaranteed, jobs, revenue here, something like that. Yeah, I mean, again, if I spend $1,000 and I'm guaranteed $3,000, that's kind of a no-brainer in my mind.
Right, exactly.
Anything like that. But at the same time, I've worked with some marketing companies in the past, and I put in a $2,000 investment, and I'd get back like $2,600. And in my mind, that wasn't really worth it, because by the time I actually did the jobs and pay for the equipment and everything, I wasn't really making a whole lot. I'm like, yeah, I'm growing the brand, but at the same time, I still gotta be making good margins here.
Right, exactly. And if you don't mind me asking, like, what did that entail? The marketing company.
So that was like advertisements and creating and posting ads and everything. So no really video, just ads.
Gotcha. Awesome. Well, let me go back and write some stuff up, get some ideas rolling for you, and then let's set up another meeting where I could propose the whole idea and then provide 3 different options for value.
No, that's completely fine. And even if it's something that we, start smaller and see how working it into my systems and my operations and everything works, and then kind of scale up from there, I have no problem doing that too. Again, this is something I've never really introduced. I think it would be really badass on my website and something to show people, because then they get to see me more so, not just, advertisements. It's a little more personal, and people tend to trust a little more. They know kind of who's behind the business, and, we can include some of my employees and everything. But yeah, that's something I don't mind to start small, start to scale up, see how it works in my business, and kind of go from there.
Perfect. All right. What day, or does Thursday or Friday this week, maybe in the 10 o'clock range again, work for you?
Not 100% sure at the moment, but I think Thursday would be great. Yeah, I think Thursday would be all right. I can let you know if that changes.
Okay. Yeah, and this is my cell, so feel free to text or whatever. Awesome. Well, it was great talking with you. Hope you have a great rest of the day, and let's nail down something for that conversation.
Yeah, no, that's cool with me. So, give my number. I'll let you know if anything changes. But yeah, I'm thinking Thursday should be cool.
Awesome. Talk to you then.
All right, perfect. Appreciate your time.
Of course.
Yep, have a good one.
You too. Bye.
All right. Let's do this. Everybody come off of mute and give him a round of applause. And thank you for sharing, brother. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. If you're watching on Facebook, I'm monitoring the chat in the paid group. If you're in the free group and you want to ask questions or want to leave a comment or whatever, come into the Zoom room. I put the Zoom link in there and you can ask questions or leave a comment. So Dom, great job. One, getting this guy to reach out to you through the use of video strategy. You attracted him by putting your videos out there and he came to you. He's already saying he wants business. He's already saying that he knows he wants video. And the most valuable potential clients that we have are the ones that are already looking to spend the money on our service. So you've already got a good fish on the hook. Let me ask you this. When you posted the video into the Facebook group and asked for some feedback, what do you feel like you are lacking in the discovery meeting that kind of made you put it out there and say, okay, what could I do better?
Probably just like Ridge said, was the presence and being able to articulate well and not saying the ums, and just being able to have a better discovery conversation.
Okay. The ums, the gotchas, the awesomes, stuff like that, I could definitely feel that, right? And there's an energy that comes when you're unsure of what you are saying or the next question that you're going to ask or the response to any of his answers. That's definitely something that comes with practice. It's not something that comes naturally to most people. So 100% absolutely try to kind of cut down on those and be more precise, more, as Ridge said, tactful, and just kind of exact about what you're trying to say. But other than that, I mean, you did a good job, you know, gotten him, you asked a bunch of questions. How do you feel the discovery meeting went?
I think it went good. I think we have a good chunk of the information that I need to have to actually make some sort of plan that would work for him. There may be some like little loopholes of some stuff I didn't get, but overall, I think I got through it well. It's just, it needs to be a smoother ride.
Sure. Okay. I'm going to tell you the biggest thing that I saw that was missing, and then we can kind of get feedback from the group. If anybody has feedback, Martina, I saw that you raised your hand. I saw people putting stuff in the comments, so we'll get to you guys here in a second. I think the biggest thing that you need to work on is setting him up for the close at the closing meeting. And the setup starts with the discovery meeting. You have to pump them up. You have to get them excited about what they are trying to accomplish. You have to have them reiterate why it's important for them to increase the sales. He's trying to 2 times, 3 times his revenue, going from, what did he say, 750 or 250? He said he's got 250 in revenue this year and he wants to get to 5 million. That is a huge increase in sales. It's not that it's not doable. 100% is, but you got to pump him up and get him ready to say, yes, video is the way to go. And I need to get there using video. And there was a lack of that. We didn't ask, why do you want to do this? That's a huge question that needs to be asked. Why this? What have you tried? And why are you interested in this? So that way he speaks, he's closing himself. He says, well, you know, videos, this, that, and this, it's going to be the best way for me to communicate my message, whatever it is. He's selling himself without you having to sell that. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. What have you tried in the past is a huge question that needs to be asked. And the reason that I always ask, what have you tried in the past, or what are you currently trying, is because I want to highlight that whatever it is they've done in the past isn't working, or whatever it is they're currently doing isn't working. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here talking to me. If they were doing something and it was generating him $5 million in sales and he already grew to that, chances are he's not asking questions with you, right? He's continuing to do what he's doing. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So those are the things that I really felt were missing from this discovery meeting. And you got to ask those up front. That way in the sales meeting, you can say, okay, your priority is this. You told me that you want to increase your sales. This is what you tried. It hasn't worked. I'm going to put a plan on the table to show you exactly how we're going to achieve this through the use of video. Okay. What I did like was the kind of, let me put you 3 years in the future situation. Like, what does success look like for you 3 years from now? I think you just need to practice your delivery of that question. And I think that you need to ask him, or excuse me, explain why you were asking that question. What was this guy's name, Dom?
Ryan.
Ryan. So Ryan, I've got a question for you. And the reason I'm going to ask this question is because I need to gauge what success looks like to you. That way I know the bullseye. I know the target that I'm going to be shooting at. And I'm going to be able to tell you if that's a realistic target, or if we can exceed that, or maybe it's not realistic and we need to lower our standards. So let me ask you this question. A year from now, what are the numbers that you want to see happen if we implement a video strategy for you to feel like this actually worked, right? That way he understands why you're asking that question. I felt like he was a little bit lost and he came up with an answer and he kind of went down that road, but I don't know that he understood why he was going down that road. So maybe just some execution on the delivery of that question, but I do like that because it paints the picture of the future and gets them excited to do business with you. Okay, here's what I want to do. If you've got a comment about the discover, we're gonna break this down into 2 sections. We're gonna give Dom some pointers, maybe some ideas of how he can make his discovery meetings better, and then we'll get into some strategy stuff, some things that Ryan said. And let's see if we can come up with some ideas that Dom can take back to him on Saturday or Thursday, excuse me. So if you have a comment in the Zoom room, go ahead and unmute yourself. I'm going to check the Facebook page. So if you have a comment, go ahead and unmute and go ahead and give it away.
Dom, I was just going to say, the same way that he discovered you is a way to get him amped up and excited, because obviously whatever you did, he found you, and you can replicate the same thing for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So mentioning that, and one thing that I always ask is just learning more about the business. Like, what is the average value of one customer? You know, do you have a unique process of helping your customers? What makes you different than your competition? Like stuff like that, to just get a better scope of, you know, how they operate, learning more about their history. You know, what is ask them what is their target demographic. You know, what does their business help? I know you mentioned it about the whole flooring. He mentioned about the flooring and stuff like that, but is there anything else? You know, what's their, as far as their employees, what's their what's the word, like word I'm looking for? Is it how long do they stay on? Is there like a lack of, you know, do they need more training videos to train people up to speed and stuff like that? So there's so much within the company potentially what they might need, you know, and just asking those right questions can kind of give you an overall scope right away into your proposal for the next meeting.
100%.
Excellent. Martin, that's spot on. Dom, there is a section in the course. I'm actually going to bring it up because I don't remember what module it is. Let me bring it up real quick. All right, can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. Bonus material, what to ask in a discovery meeting. So there's a whole list of questions.
Guys, so we had a few people ask.
I went through a whole thing. The Spark is in here that you guys can go and check out. But I put in here like a whole bunch of questions about how to learn about their business, the stuff that Martin is talking about, like the average value of a customer, what they've done in the past, like all these questions that I think that it's important to ask during a discovery interview are in this section. So that's module 5. It's right at the beginning. It's the bonus material. So I would suggest you go and look at that. We've honestly had people just read those questions word for word in their discovery meetings, and they've been able to use that to go and close deals. So if you're missing questions, or if you feel like you're not getting enough information, go and read these questions. The Spark presentation is there for you to check out. Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay. Thielen on Facebook says, great discovery meeting. Dom asked all the right questions, though Dom could have met the client's energy. The guy was super excited. He was on 10. Dom was like on a 5 on energy. Okay. So I could see that. I could tell Dom that you're a pretty mild-mannered person, but sometimes you have to match or try to match the energy that's coming your way, because that's going to pump somebody up and get them to feel that reciprocation of excitement, of emotion, right? And I think that Thielen is spot on here, that you could have shown that a little bit more in your energy levels.
Totally agree.
Okay, cool. Anybody else have comments or things that Dom could have done better? I got a few more things, but I don't want to talk the whole time. I don't like doing that.
I have a comment.
Go for it, Vic.
Great job on the discovery meeting. One thing, a little bit of nugget of info. He does detailing, right? Because I'm a big car guy, so familiar on detail and ceramic coating. On your next meeting, I know it based off where he's trying to be. Like he said, 3 years from now, sipping coffee, having a multi-million-dollar business. A neighbor of mine actually also has a detailing business. Started off, the going to your house. Well, now a year later, he's now doing private jets, actually doing the ceramic coating on the private jets. So maybe, paint that picture for him. He's like, listen, you want to, you said 3 years from now, we want to be having coffee, because a lot of these, the going the door to door is cool and it's going to pay the bills, but making that leap where he wants to be at is franchising, right? Is getting these big government contracts, or not just government, but these big fleet contracts. So maybe asking that or selling the, hey, What about, fleet servicing? What about, local bus, local transportation, trying to get in there to these different, whether it's through, cities, governments, even airports, if there's local airports, but also like, and, hyping them up as like, hey, let's get you these fleet contracts that'll really take you to that next level, right? Then he's like, and then he's looking at you, he's like, okay, Dom's got all the answers. He knows what I want. It's like, hey, let's get you there. You found me on you found me by the strategies that I provide to my clients, right? So let's get you to these, fleet servicing contracts. And just so he knows, like, okay, Dom's got it. He knows where I want to be, and he knows where I want to attack these things. So yeah, Dom's my guy.
Love that. That's dope.
Yep.
That's big
legit.
time. Dom, I think you need to bring that energy back to your meeting and the excitement about what Vic just said, because that's huge. I never would have even thought about that. Like private jets and Lear jets and stuff, and doing the ceramic coating. If he's doing this and it costs $1,000 to $4,000 on a car, imagine what that cost and revenue could be for airplanes, dude. That's nuts. So the way I would approach this is I would tell him, this guy was Ryan, right?
Yes.
Okay. Like, Ryan, I'm super pumped, dude. I went and did a bunch of research in this industry. I reached out to a lot of my colleagues who have done work in this industry. I want to make sure that what I create for you is going to get you where you want to go. But I started to see even further. I know we talked about 3 years from now, but I started to see avenues further. One of my colleagues has done work where they do the ceramic coatings on private airplanes. And I know that might be a little bit further down the road, but I want you to know that I'm excited about the path that you're on, and I see the potential that's there. So the video strategy that I'm going to lay out for you is going to be the foundation to help you get to that point. And I'm excited about doing this with you. Let's go ahead and take a look at this video strategy that we put together for you. But that way he sees that, man, you're pumped up, man. You went and talked to people. You went and asked questions. You didn't just say, hey, I'm going to come to you with some random idea and I can make a video for you. You actually went out and did the homework that's going to get him excited because you're excited about seeing him be successful. Vic, dude, that's awesome, man. Great insight.
I take Amazon gift cards, by the way.
I'll tell you what, if that closes the deal for Dom, I think he's going to owe you one of those.
Oh yeah.
Go get him. Go get him, bro. Go get him. Go get him.
Yeah, B&H, right? I give B&H gift cards as opposed to Amazon, but no, that's good stuff. Okay, Dom, here's my last set of advice, unless anybody else has something about the discovery, and then we can move to strategy.
I do.
Go
Dom, I would have wanted to know how many employees are needed for those mobile units. So he has 2 now. I would want to know that information because it's going to affect as we move forward. And would he need any video strategy in that area as well? And also I would want to know employment attrition. How long is he able to keep those employees? Does that turn over often? Does he find himself retraining people? Is that a long process to get someone trained to do the job? So these are just some other thoughts that came to me specific to this job.
So really good points, Lay. Really good points. Here's how you convey your excitement even more, Dom. Listen, in my homework, in my research, and what I'm taking a look into, my question for 3 years or even a year from now is, are you at the capacity of employment that's going to be able to handle the capacity of business? If we get you to that point, do you have the manpower to actually make this happen? Because the last thing that I want to do is put you in a position where you have way too many leads and you're wasting leads. So can you handle this business, right? Get him in that mind frame of, holy crap, Dom's talking about filling my book of calendar way up, and now I'm going to need more employees. And then you can go down that road of, maybe we need to look for additional training videos. Maybe we need to look for recruitment videos, like that kind of stuff up. But the excitement in saying, I think we can get you past your goal is really going to put him in his mind space of a positive place to move forward in business with you. Lay, that's great insight. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Last little bit, dude. Yeah, I think it's just you got to set it up a little bit better. It can't be so passive. It's got to be more direct. When this guy reaches out to you, schedule both of those meetings before you ever go into your first meeting. They have to know the process. That's, for me, that's crucial. When somebody reaches out to me, David, I want to talk to you. Okay, look at your schedule. Give me 2 dates where we can talk. I need these 2 dates on the calendar before I can do 1 date. And this is why. This is my process. I am extremely focused and dedicated to getting my clients results, and I have a process to do that. The first part of the process is going to be the discovery meeting. I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions. Then I'm going to do my homework. Then we're going to come back to the sales table. And when we come to the sales meeting, the intent of that meeting is to say, yes, we're doing business, or no, we're not doing business. But make sure they know that process. That way he's not getting to the end of the discovery meeting and you're saying, well, when are you next available? And he's like, I'm not completely sure. And maybe Thursday. And like, it's just, the energy's all off, right? Be ready. So that way you get to the end of the discovery meeting. Okay, cool. I got in all the information I need. Thursday at 10 o'clock, we've got this on the schedule. I will see you then. Okay. Be more precise, more just a matter of fact about it. Okay. Giovanni, did you have I haven't been looking at the chat in here, guys. If you have questions or anything else in here. Okay, cool. All right. So do your best to go do some research in the industry, look at his competition, look at what he's currently doing. Let's move into strategy. So for right now, Dom, what have you kind of come up with in your head about what you're going to pitch this guy?
I think he could use a whole trifecta and some promos specifically targeting like specific different aspects. So maybe they clean just the seats, they clean, some sort of just the cleaning parts, along with then making promos for the the ceramic coatings and that type of thing.
Okay, so we got a trifecta and some promo videos. Why do you think we need these? What did he say that makes you feel like we need these?
He doesn't have any video on anything, is basically what he said. He doesn't have it on the website, and I think he just has some like cell phone stuff on his Facebook.
Okay, so what it comes down to is that his credibility is weak right now. Credibility is a word that he used that he understands he needs help with. He wants to do work on $500,000 vehicles. I don't even know what kind of vehicle that is. Like, what kind of vehicle costs $500,000? Honestly, like, I know I looked at some Ferraris because I was just curious what they were like, and it was like $125,000 to 250. $500,000 a lot of money for a vehicle, right? If the way that he looks on the internet is not credible, do you think somebody's going to let him touch their $500 vehicle? Hell,
not at all.
No, right? So when he said, and I wrote this down, he said that the biggest hurdle to him selling these $1,000 to $4,000 ceramic coatings is the price point of $1,000 to $4,000. I'm going to push back on him. The people who are buying $500,000 vehicles have $4,000 to spend. I think the biggest hurdle to him selling these jobs is the risk. If I take my $500,000 car to you and you screw it up, that's a lot of risk. Do you look credible enough for me to want to have a conversation with you about doing the ceramic coating? Can I trust you? Is what I see on the internet going to entice me to come and talk to you? That's the biggest hurdle. That's why he needs a sales trifecta, right? The brand message video is going to put all of that he talked about, all of that passion, all of that, his story, all of that, the why, into that video and build trust. The promo videos are going to hype up his target audience. right? Those people who have $5,000 to spend on a car, that's crazy. It's going to catch their attention. And then the testimonials, man, proof. You need trust. You need proof. It's incredibly important to have that. If you don't have that, the barrier for him is trust, credibility. Okay. So when you go into this meeting, you got to hype that up big time. Credibility, trust, credibility, trust, credibility, trust. If we can do that, then we can get you to the place where you want to be in business. Okay.
He also mentioned that he had like his brand was all aligned, like website is this and that. So your video is his weakness. And that goes with what you were just saying is like, we can't have them look at all your stuff and then see, you know, cell phone videos on your Facebook page, because then they're going to see a bunch of great stuff and they're going to see a little dip, and that really doesn't look good for you. So that's that kind of hyping them up. Like that's got to be as good as the rest of your stuff.
Absolutely. Okay. What are the videos do you guys think might be of value in this situation? And if you have anything on Facebook, go ahead and put it. I'm watching.
Well, it sounds like one of the biggest reasons that he actually needs video is because his business or the service that he's providing is not understood by his customers.
Good. Okay. So what kind of videos can we implement in that situation, Jimmy, to help his clientele understand what he does?
I'd say videos informing somebody that is shopping for somebody that is looking for this type of work. So it's like when you're shopping for someone to do this type of work, make sure that they're explaining this to you, or that they're able to do this. If they're, you know, checking their work entirely, you know, their portfolio, that they get the job done. So videos of informing the potential client.
Okay, awesome. Jimmy, give me your thoughts on this. You were going down a direction that I like that you were headed.
Yeah, well, he talked about how, you know, ceramic coatings and asking like, do you know what that is? And honestly, when I watched it, I have no idea what that is. So I would need to be educated on what is a ceramic coating? Why do I even need it? Why do I even care? And especially at a $4,000 price point, you know, why should I even get this? And then obviously what I like to do is you have your testimonials for your specific testimonials, but then you also intercut those into all of this. Why do I need this? Well, this is the reason why. And, you know, listen to this guy's opinion on why he needed it.
Beautiful. I love it. Explainer videos with some testimonials slipped in there. That's hardcore.
Yeah, and if I can add to that, I'm a big car guy. Actually, I was a BMW technician by trade. So, but you know, with the new, all the new cars are water-based paints, right? Or at least in California. I don't know if it's, you know, nationwide. But as a consumer, you know, obviously, yeah, getting a detail make my car look pretty. Why do I want to pay why should I pay you $1,000, $2,000 for a ceramic coat? Well, Mr. Car owner, that vehicle has a water-based paint. Water-based paint no longer doesn't really hold up as to old petroleum-based paint, right? The clear coats are much thinner. You know, yesterday I was just geeking out on Chemical Guy's YouTube videos because I want to buy me a whole, you know, car wash set. So maybe telling your client, look, we need to sell your audience on why they need a ceramic coat, right? If a ceramic coat's going to protect your paint for 3 to 5 years, that $2,000 investment is going to last them, 3 years before they even have to consider getting, a detail, a color sand, clay treatment, and also hyping up that the ceramic coat by, some cool little not really gimmicky videos, but something as putting like a washcloth on the hood of the car, and it's just sliding down because it really is a smooth surface. You know what I mean? Maybe even like that wow video of that dirt on your Porsche, a little glop of dirt, and just watching that thing run down the hood of the car. They're just like, whoa, what is that? Well, that's ceramic coat. I imagine when you're just parking outside, your car's exposed to the elements all day long, rain, dirt, I live in the desert, so a black car is like, good luck. Next day it's got a little film of dust on there. So maybe hyping that into your video campaigns of the big why I need that ceramic coat, so then when they go in for the detail, oh, by the way, we could also ceramic coat, and here's why you want a ceramic coat. If you have a brand new car that's 1, 2, 3 years old, well, guess what? It's going to at least preserve that paint job that much longer.
Awesome. I love.
As soon as it leaves the lot, it needs to go to this dude's shop. From what you're saying, the water base, like as soon as it leaves the lot, it's in his shop.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dom, did you happen to know anything about water-based paints versus, what did you say, Vic?
Petroleum-based.
Petroleum-based. Did you know anything about that, Dom?
Absolutely nothing.
And see, you taking this info, Dom, to your client, be like, oh, Dom's a car guy too. Okay, he gets it.
Dude,
100%. Yeah, that's super valuable.
Huge. Guys, this is what I love about our community. This is what I love about it, is because I had no idea. And now Dom can go in there with more knowledge and feeling educated about the process. And that's awesome. Vic, that is good stuff. Vic, do you happen to know what kind of car costs $500 though? Because I don't.
The only one that I saw on the list is like the Pagandas, the Paganis, the what's the other, the Swedish supercar. But yeah, I mean, even let's just talk the 250 range, the Rolls, the the Maybachs. Your client has big dreams, and I think you can make that happen for them, is because I think not only like the details and the ceramic cuts, that's going to pay the bills, right? Where he wants to be is getting those high value clients where they just bought a brand new Ferrari. Well, guess what? You just bought it. The very next trip has to be seeing your guy to get that ceramic coat, right? And then if they got one, guess what? They probably got 3 or 4 more, and then the wifey's probably driving the Range Rover. So I mean, he's talking one client at that income level, that's a whole miniature fleet into itself, right? So this can be, and taking that info with them, he's going to look at it like, okay, dude, this guy knows exactly where I want to be. So I'm thinking this can be a lifelong customer, a lifelong, business partnership.
Good. I love it, Vic. That is good stuff. Okay, Dom, did you write all that
You got
down?
more for it later too.
I'm going to watch the recording back. There's way too much information for me to even write all that down, but
Good. Okay, so we got trifectas in there. We got explainer videos. We've got testimonials inserted into explainer videos. We've got like process videos, what happens when you roll your car off the lot. A lot of different avenues that you could go about here. I think also you need to look at distribution, right? If you happen to make this happen, were you already talking to Mark?
no, that was just for my stuff.
For your stuff. Okay.
Potentially Joel or Nicholas.
Yep. Joel and Nick.
So yeah, if this one deal goes through, we're going to be working together. Not this one, the detailing one. I'm talking about a different one.
Okay. Just make sure. I mean, listen, if this guy's going to invest in your work and your strategy, got to have the distribution in there. So we got to start talking about like, how do we target car enthusiasts? How do we target the income levels that are going to be able to purchase cars like this and have disposable money to pay for a ceramic coating, all this kind of stuff. So make sure that you have somebody in your pocket, in your back pocket, to handle the marketing for you if that's not going to be you yourself. Okay.
Will do.
Okay, guys.
David, I got something to add with that for videos too. If you
go for it.
Okay, cool. So I got a couple, but I'm going to give you just a few to start. So this comes to mind since he only has one unit right now, one facility he does it with. If he has a staff that are like specializes in certain things, like you said, the guy that knows how to identify different paints and what type of stuff is the best stuff for it, you could do brand videos for the people that are on staff as well. So, meet Tori, they're the rim specialist, or meet this person, they're the person that makes sure your interior is like you just purchased it. And they can roll those videos out and brand the people that are there if they're kind of like a family, in a sense, like they are really close knit and they're not going to be looking for employment in the next 2 months at a different business. That's an option. And then also, we also think about what are the things that people are using these luxury cars for. A lot of them are using these luxury cars to make money. So you can also mention to him, there may be an option for when people are renting vehicles, like on Turo, on all these different platforms where people will literally rent these vehicles for days and say, hey, have you ever thought of the option, like a rapid option, where people that consistently need their vehicles clean, but it's a luxury vehicle, you can have that rate and you can present that and we can showcase that so people can know, hey, I have a luxury vehicle, I'm using it for this, but I don't want to keep going to the car wash and you keep stripping my paint and ruining it. Can you take care of it at a higher level so I can protect my investment, so I can protect my asset? And then I have one more, but I'll say that for now. The last one will come to me, but that's what came to mind for now.
Awesome.
Gotcha. Yeah, thank you.
Also, Dom, don't you want to know what platforms he is currently using so that you know where you're going to be headed with distribution, but then also to direct him to the places which you find in your research are the best direction for him?
100%. That definitely could have been a question to ask.
I remember it now. The last thing was trying to book a car photographer to capture some of the end product stuff that you're doing in video also. So you have matching content that he can also distribute over the next period of time, like the next couple of weeks, next couple of months. So now he doesn't have to worry about can he make a video every time. It's just like, hey, you've already brought this person on board because they're the Bravo to the Alpha that you're putting out. And it's a lot easier to say, hey, you got videos, but in the meantime, let's take photos of your work and let's roll those out over the next couple of months. And to him, that makes sense because now he doesn't have to think of what's the next video I got to put out. It's like, no, I can fill in that gap and help you roll out and show what you're doing, because you're not going to always pull in 500,000 vehicles, but anything that's like a Jaguar and up is a candidate. So that's a lot more stuff that you can get out for a really small amount of investment.
Alan. Yes, dude.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if I can add one more thing, like on the marketing side of things. So based off his conversation, right? I'm thinking, okay, he knows what he wants to go after. So based off these luxury cars. So you guys are probably located in a place in Ohio where, you see your BMW, Mercedes, Porsche, high net worth cars, right? What if maybe asking him, hey, are you open to the idea of maybe giving a ceramic coating away, but you do it with a dealership? So he can try to get in with the dealerships and maybe talking to a dealership and say, hey, who is one of your most valuable customers who has bought from cars from you time and time and time again? I would like to give them away a free ceramic coat. And, I just want to show you what our quality of work is. No obligation. And this is something you can say, thank you, customer, for being a return customer. Our gift to you. Because I think, and of course you BTS this thing, you record it and because if that customer who's got a brand new Benz gets a free ceramic coat, his friends is going to, at the golf course, check out my ceramic coat. Well, where'd you get it? Oh, ABC detail over here. Give me his number. I need my car ceramic coat.
Beautiful.
I got one more, and this is the last one I got.
All right, go fill it up.
It's niche, so it might be like a phase 2, phase 3 thing, but you could really once he starts to show that he's an expert in doing this across all these different vehicles, he could begin to roll out vehicles on certain car models and why they need special attention to detail. So you may say, hey, this month we're going to talk about the Ferrari F1, yada, yada, yada. It wouldn't be an F, but the Ferrari such and such and such. This is why there's a vehicle needs attention to detail. It doesn't, it has paint, it has water based instead of petroleum based, so it needs a different type of coating. It has this. And what it starts to do is starts to put him as that person that's educating people on why they need to go ahead and pull the trigger on getting him instead of trying to figure it out themselves. Because there's going to be people that's like, I tried that on my vehicle and it didn't work. So this guy's doing it. And in the video is working. It makes sense. Okay, I need to bring my vehicle in. And that's not like a next week strategy, but that's kind of like as he's situated and people are like, okay, I know that brand. you can continue to roll those kind of things out as like a way to show, hey, we've mastered this vehicle, or we've mastered this vehicle. And a lot of the vehicles don't even have, once they get into certain numbers, like 300, 500,000, they don't even get listed by years anymore. It's just a model, so you don't get like a 2019 Lamborghini Huracan. It's just a Lamborghini Huracan. So, that's just something that came to mind. Like, it's not like the top of the list, but if he's like, hey, man, I want to dream and I want to put some stuff out to show how much I know about this industry, it's it's an option.
Okay, awesome. Dom, I'm sure you got a lot of ideas rolling through your head that get you hyped up between now and Thursday. Okay, so let's set you up a little bit and make sure that you're good to go for Thursday. Remember that he said that he was okay starting small and working big. And I think that's a great place to go. I think when you go back to him, you're going to come to him and say, listen, I've got some options. One of them, I'm going to throw the kitchen sink at you. There's going to be all kinds of stuff. And there's reasons that I inputted all these in there. This can be an extended strategy, but there is going to be a minimum strategy that I think that we are going to need to implement in order to get you the results that you want. That minimum strategy is this, and whatever you decide that to be, if it's the trifecta plus an explainer video, if it's the trifecta plus whatever, right? This is the minimum. We have to do this. Otherwise, I'm not comfortable that you're going to get the results that you want. And if I'm not comfortable with that, then maybe it's not the project for me because I don't want to waste your time and money. I'm going to give you the minimum, and then I'm going to show you all the other stuff that we can add on as well. And we can go from there. Okay. So make sure that he has those options for you. Also, and this is the training that we're about to go into in about half an hour. When you go to him, you can say, okay, Ryan, listen, I've got this whole plan. And the idea is that the accuracy, consistency, and the scale at which we can provide information to your target audience is going to greatly impact how successful we are in this campaign. Accuracy, consistency, and scale. Okay, so I'm going to go over that. Each one of these videos, there is a reason for it. The distribution, the methods that we speak, there is a reason for it. And the accuracy, consistency, and scale at which we're able to provide the information that we capture in these videos is going to get us to that point where you're reaching your goals. So let's go ahead and dive into this, and let me show you what we've got for your video strategy. Okay.
Yeah, that sounds great. How do you like bring in the distribution? So like, do you start it off like towards the beginning of when you're starting to talk in the sales meeting, or like how does that work?
I bring that up in the discovery meeting, and this is what I'm talking about: setting it up and getting yourself ready for the sales meeting. Because the last thing that I want them to do is get into the sales meeting and be like, oh, now there's another element that I wasn't sure about. So in the discovery meeting, right at the end of it, what I always tell them is, okay, listen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go do my homework. I'm going to do my research about your industry. I'm going to create a strategy. Just so you're aware, this strategy is going to require a distribution element that is likely going to be running paid ad campaigns through social media and other avenues. So I want you to be aware of that. I'm going to include those distribution strategies in this video strategy. Now, if you need help to implement that distribution, like if you need somebody to run the ads for you, either Dom's going to do it if you decide to do that, or I'm going to bring somebody that I trust on to be able to do that for us. But I want you to have a heads up that that is absolutely going to be necessary. And if that element is not there, there's no reason for us to make these videos because they flat out won't work. Right? That way, in the discovery meeting, he knows he's getting into more than just, I'm going to create a video. He's getting into, I'm going to create this amazing video, and Dom's going to make sure that, Mr. Billionaire over there sees this and is going to come do business with me. Okay. So that's why I'm really glad that you asked for help to get better at discovery, because the better you can set up in discovery, the easier it is to close the deal at sales. Okay.
Makes sense.
Okay. Awesome. Guys, we are going to end this training. We've got another training in 30 minutes where we're going to talk about accuracy, consistency, and scale. Dom, if you're on that one as well, probably help you out. It's a simple concept. It's stuff that I talk about all the time, but if you can articulate this to your clients, then they see you as something more valuable than just a person with a camera. So we're going to get into that. So Vic, I think you had some awesome insight. Vic, are you a paid member of our club?
Yeah, I actually, well, thanks to Parker over there at Full Time. And I actually just messaged you if you can help me. You told me to message you on Sunday to see. I have a presentation with a local nonprofit that's got a pretty sizable budget, and just need to know how I can basically frame the presentation.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah. Hit me up on Sunday and we'll see if we can get one of these sessions in for you.
Awesome.
Next week with the availability of next week's schedule. So,
And Dom, we're connected on Facebook, so you can message me anytime, bud.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Because I'm a big car guy. That's my thing.
Nice. Dom, you pumped up, man?
100%. Yeah. I feel great after this now. Like I actually feel like I have a good direction to walk into the next thing with.
Okay. Very cool, guys. Excellent training. Excellent strategy session. I love the fact that our community is coming together and doing these kinds of things. So this is good stuff. Dom, good luck, brother. We're looking forward to hearing about a humongous deal on the books at the end of this week.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. Everybody, we'll see you in about a half an hour for the second training of the evening. All right. We'll see you guys there.